Hi, I'm Dr. S. Samir Pasha, Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, Government First Grade College, Devanhalli. In my today's class, I'm going to explain you about the Preamble of Indian Constitution. Preamble is an integral part of Indian Constitution. It is an introduction to the Constitution. It is just like a brief summary of Indian Constitution. Preamble explains about the aims and objectives of Indian Constitution. It also explains about the date of adoption of the Indian Constitution. It is an integral part of Indian Constitution. The Preamble of Constitution of India begins like this. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status of opportunity, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, the 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. It is our preamble. It begins and ends with the name of the people of India. The words, we the people of India adopt, enact, and give to ourselves imply that the Constitution of India is framed in the name of the people of India. People are the real sources of all political authority. Politicians, bureaucrats, and others, therefore, they should work for the betterment of the common people. India is a sovereign both internally and externally. Internal sovereignty refers to every individual and association must subordinate to the authority of the state. State is supreme. External sovereignty refers to freedom of India from any external control. No other country in the world is allowed to dictate us. The Constitution of India advocates a socialist pattern of society to India. It refers decentralization of wealth, minimum requirements of the people would be provided by the state. India is a secular state. A secular state is one where every religion is given equal importance. It allows religious freedom to all citizens. State controls this right on the basis of decency, morality, and public order. The term democracy is comprehensive in nature. It does not merely refer to the form of government. It refers to social and economic democracy. Political democracy becomes meaningless in the absence of social and economic democracy. The term republic refers to the elective head of the state. The President of India is elected by the citizens of the country. It is not a hereditary post. Any citizen of India with required qualifications can become the President of India. It is noteworthy that Britain is a democratic country, but it is not a republic because of the hereditary nature of the selection of the head of the state there in England. The head of the nation in England is Queen now, or the King. So, Britain is not considered as a republic, while India is a republic because here the president is elected by the people for the term of 5 years. The people elects MLAs and MPs, and then MLAs and MPs will elect the President of India. So, India is a republic. The preamble explains about The objectives of the Constitution. There are four such objectives. They are justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Let us briefly discuss one by one. Justice. It implies harmonious reconcilement of individual conduct with the general welfare of society. It aims at the attainment of common good. It is applicable in the entire social, economic, and political sphere of human activity. Secondly, liberty. Liberty refers to the creation of those conditions necessary for the development of the personality of individual. Social progress depends on the progress of individual. There should not be unnecessary restrictions on the freedom of individuals. Individuals should free from the control of restrictions. Individuals should free from restrictions. That is called as liberty. Maximum liberty, freedom should be given to the people. Then thirdly, equality. It refers equality of opportunity under equal circumstances for both men and women. It ensures equal protection of law. Liberty and equality are complementary to each other. One has no meaning in the absence of another. French revolutionaries therefore proclaimed that men are born free and remain free and equal in rights. Social distinctions are based only upon public utility. Once again, French revolutionaries therefore proclaimed that men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Social distinctions are based only upon public utility. Lastly, fraternity, or the spirit of brotherhood, is necessary to ensure both the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. Individuals, therefore, should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. This was, in fact, proclaimed by the United Nations in its Declaration of Human Rights. It can be said that the preamble of the Constitution of India is one of the best of its kind ever drafted with above ideologies. Thank you.